Let me show you how Yablo Genius can streamline your workflow of processing incoming messages. I've set up an inbox without Yablo Genius activated. As you see, there's a list of incoming customer requests. Notice that all these messages have the same default priority, they're all unassigned, no tags are applied. So typically, you need to process each message one by one, delegate it to a team member, set priorities and due dates, add tags, and so on. Let's open this conversation and show you how that's done. We've got this message from a customer about a potential sign-in problem. Let's set a clear owner for this conversation first. As this message concerns a possible technical problem with our product, I'm going to assign it to Sam, as he's responsible for bug reports. Okay, now let's make sure that Sam treats this as an urgent message. I'm going to change the conversation's priority and set it to urgent. As we want to track the volume and performance of bug reports in Yablo Analytics, I'm also going to attach an appropriate tag to this conversation as well. I hit the tag button and select the bug report tag that I would like to add. So that's it for this message. I've added an owner, selected a priority, and applied appropriate tags. Now I need to do the same actions for all other incoming messages as well. Now this might not seem to be a lot of work, but if you need to repeat this for 1,000 messages a week, it starts to add up. Now, what if I told you that you can completely automate this process with Yablo Genius? Let me show you how that looks like. I've set up a similar inbox with the same incoming messages, but now with Yablo Genius activated. You immediately notice that Yablo Genius automatically has set priorities and due dates to conversations, assigned owners, and applied appropriate tags, without any manual intervention. Let's open the same message as before to see what Yablo Genius has exactly done. First of all, Yablo Genius has generated a one-line summary of the incoming message, so you can see at a glance what the message is about without having to read the entire message body. Yablo Genius also matched the content of the message with the expertise and focus areas of each team member, and selected Sam as the most appropriate owner for this kind of conversation. I will show you in a minute how you can configure this in Yablo Genius, but it's really easy to do so. Yablo Genius also switched the priority to urgent. Clearly, this bug report is about a customer that is no longer able to sign in, so it seems obvious that this should be treated with due urgency. And finally, Yablo Genius also selected the bug report tag for this conversation, so I can track it in my analytics with no effort at all. Let's have a look at another example. From the generated summary, you can see in a split second that this is a request about a cancellation policy. You don't even have to read the actual message. This time, Yablo Genius assigned the conversation to another team member, again based on each team member's expertise. Yablo Genius also added the tag risk of churn to this conversation. What's interesting about this tag is that because the customer is asking about the cancellation policy, Yablo Genius inferred that the customer might have the actual intent to cancel in the near future, and that there is indeed a potential risk of churn. You can always get an explanation from Yablo Genius why it has taken certain actions. For example, you can clearly see why it thinks that the risk of churn tag is an appropriate tag for this conversation. You've seen how Yablo Genius works and how it can greatly speed up your workflow. Before I end this video, I would like to quickly show you how you can configure Yablo Genius for an inbox in Yablo. First of all, you can enable or disable the different actions that Yablo Genius can perform. So if you would like to automatically prioritize incoming messages, you simply enable the prioritize action. If you would like to automatically generate one-line summaries, you simply enable the summarize action. Some actions require a little bit more configuration. Let's have a look at the assign action that allows you to automatically assign incoming messages to the most appropriate team member. For each team member, you can describe in plain English the kind of messages that he or she is responsible for. If you look at Peter, for example, I simply describe that he focuses on inquiries related to pricing, discounts, payments, invoicing, and subscription plans. That's it. And you do the same thing for your other team members as well. Remember the last example message I showed you about the cancellation policy? That one got assigned to Peter. Although I didn't explicitly describe that Peter manages questions on cancellations, based on his expertise on payments and subscription plans, Yablo Genius was still able to select Peter as the most appropriate owner. I hope you've got a good overview of how Yablo Genius can improve your customer service. If you would like to give Yablo Genius a try, check it out in our app or start a free trial on our website.